You're watching the Segpay News Network. Today, our special guest is Jeff Rosenzweig. Jeff is Chief Operating Officer at ForumPay. So, Jeff, welcome to the Segpay News Network.
Thanks, Mark. It's great to be here.
We really appreciate you taking time for us today, Jeff. So, first of all, in a nutshell, how does ForumPay work?
ForumPay is very similar to Segpay in that we are a third-party payment processor. So we process payments on behalf of our merchants, much like Segpay. The only difference being that we handle cryptocurrency transactions instead of credit card transactions.
So, Jeff, as Chief Operating Officer, tell us what your day is like. What do you do on a day-to-day basis?
So my day is dramatically different depending on what's going on. So I oversee several main components of ForumPay's operations. The first and foremost being product development and technical support. So I spend a good deal of time on making sure our product is up to date. We have all the features and benefits that our merchants need to be successful, and that we're supporting merchants that are already integrated with our products, that they're getting the top service level. So a big portion of my day is spent in that aspect. The second place I do a lot of work in is compliance. So compliance falls under my auspice as well. But the final area of my responsibility is overseeing the sales team. So making sure that our account managers are meeting their requirements, onboarding merchants, sitting in on sales calls, helping close sales calls, whatever I can do to help support the sales team to be more successful.
And in full transparency, Jeff held a senior level job at Segpay as well. So, Jeff, congratulations on your new gig over at ForumPay. Sounds like you're doing really well. As you well know, and our merchants well know, credit card regulations are constantly changing. Compliance is not easy. And crypto, at least in theory, looks like a good option as a payment solution versus credit cards. Do you think this is a fad? Do you think this is real momentum that we'll see greater acceptance around the world?
Yeah, so I definitely think it's not a fad. I think cryptocurrency is here to stay. I think the markets prove that. The market capitalization of Bitcoin is as big as any Fortune 500 company right now. So crypto isn't going away. The U.S. is adding all kinds of regulations, adding stable coins into the treasury. So crypto is here to stay, and it is a great payment solution for anyone. Virtual currency is absolutely the way of the future in every aspect. Virtual currency far exceeds fiat currency. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the term fiat currency is just the generic term used for any traditional currency that's paper, right? So the yen, the dollar, the euro, those are all fiat currencies. So crypto is superior in every way. It's more durable, it's more divisible. The only way it doesn't meet current fiat is acceptability, because it's not accepted as much as fiat is, but that's where we come in, because we believe it will, and we're helping it become more acceptable through our product offerings.
I think you were the very first person to tell me about Bitcoin years ago, Jeff.
Yes, many moons ago, Mark.
That's right. All right, so I did. Thanks to you. So, Jeff, anyone who deals with crypto knows that the price volatility is something you have to really monitor. How does ForumPay determine the price of crypto at the time a customer makes a purchase?
Great question. Comes up all the time. So ForumPay actually owns and operates its own cryptocurrency exchange called LimitLex, a fully licensed European cryptocurrency exchange. And one of the unique features about our exchange is that we replicate the order books of 32 other major exchanges around the world. So we're always out there looking for the best exchange rate for any cryptocurrency. So at the point in time of a purchase, we're offering that consumer the best available exchange rate at that point in time, so they know they're getting the most bang for their buck. So if they're exchanging Bitcoin for euro or Bitcoin for dollar, we're going out getting the best pairing for that, and that's the rate we're presenting the consumer at the point of sale.
Wow, it's crazy, right? With the way the market goes up and down. You all have a proprietary system. I was watching videos on your site, right, that determines the price and holds it for like 15 minutes. Is that right?
Exactly, Mark. Exactly. So once we do our what we call instant price determination, we lock in and guarantee that rate for 15 minutes. So that's a huge benefit for our merchants, because what we do is we remove, volatility from the equation for a merchant. So when a merchant says, "Hey, I want to process a $100 USD transaction," we present a Bitcoin price to the consumer, and that price is locked in for 15 minutes. So as long as the consumer makes a payment within 15 minutes of that amount of Bitcoin, we guarantee a $100 settlement to the merchant. Now that Bitcoin that comes in is automatically and instantly converted, so the merchant never takes possession of the cryptocurrency, they never hold the cryptocurrency, they're never exposed to the risk or volatility of the cryptocurrency. So for all intents and purposes, it's just like a credit card transaction, right? When someone comes to you with a credit card, they want to basically exchange credit for dollars. Same thing with ForumPay, but we're allowing them to exchange cryptocurrency for dollars instead of debt for dollars.
And Jeff, it's my understanding that all sales are final. There are no chargebacks. Is that right?
Yeah, that's the beauty of crypto, right? Crypto is a fraud-proof transaction, right, Mark? The only way I could ever send you cryptocurrency is if I'm physically authenticated within my cryptocurrency wallet and I push that cryptocurrency out to you. No one can hack it, no one can fake it, no one can fraud it. So once I've sent you that crypto, it's come from me. You know it's come from me. And the only way that could ever be sent back is if you send it back to me. There's no reversals, no refunds, no chargebacks. So it's great for merchants because once that money comes to them, it's theirs to keep.
And the customer needs to be aware of that, though, right? There's no going back once you've made the purchase.
Absolutely, absolutely. Anyone who's a crypto holder already knows that and understands that.
Gotcha. Okay, Jeff, specifically now, how do you work with Segpay and how do you help their merchants?
Great question. So the best way to put it is we primarily like to act much like a credit card acquiring banks in the credit card space, right? So Segpay processes credit cards, but they have an acquiring bank supported by Visa or MasterCard that's actually running it through their rails, processing it, moving the funds, and doing everything. So we serve that same role for Segpay, but on the crypto side. So we're integrated with Segpay. So when you're making crypto purchase through Segpay, it's indeed going through Segpay, but we serve as their clearinghouse on the back end. So we process that, we handle the exchange, and then we settle the funds to Segpay. So much like they have acquiring banks in the credit card space, we're their clearinghouse in the crypto space.
What about recurring payments, Jeff? Will ForumPay have a recurring solution? Because it's my understanding right now, we can only do crypto transactions one at a time.
So we do offer a recurring solution. Unlike the credit card world, like I spoke earlier, a crypto payment has to be physically pushed, right? In the recurring space, I can say, here's my credit card number, go and take money, every 30 days, and you can just go ahead and pull it out off my credit card. Can't do that in the crypto world. So the way our recurring product works is, let's just say that Mark, you want to subscribe to my crypto newsletter, and it's $9.99 every 30 days. So what would happen is that recurring would be set up in our system. And instead of us automatically pulling that money from you every 30 days, we'll send you an email that says, hey, your subscription's about to renew. Click this button to renew your subscription. You'll click that button. It'll take you to our QR code, which you'll scan and make your payment. So we do it, but we're not able to pull the funds directly. So we actually notify the consumer 7 days before the rebill, 3 days before the rebill, and then again 1 day before the rebill. So we give them 3 chances to continue the subscription. And if they don't, at that point, it's canceled.
And is there a percentage that continue, Jeff? Is it pretty high?
It is actually very high because I'm not trying to disparage the credit card world at all, but a lot of times in some of the credit card recurring billings, the consumer may not be fully aware that they're signing up for a rebill or a subscription. Where in this space, they're usually very aware of it. They're fully engaged. They want a rebill. So when they receive that email, they're very likely to click on and keep their subscription going.
So as you're well aware, Segpay's slogan is all the way to paid. What part currently does ForumPay play in that process, and how do you see that growing in the future?
I think we're just going to continue to integrate more of our product offerings into Segpay and taking all of Segpay's clients all the way to paid with cryptocurrency, right? We settle daily, so we can get those funds into Segpay and out to those merchants as soon as possible, integrating some of our new products like the recurring billing solution. We have a great new product in the CAM space or the wallet space called fixed payment addresses, which is a great solution for any type of company that needs to have a single customer make ongoing payments that aren't recurring, right? So if we look at the example of if you have a CAM site and you want to buy tokens, one customer will buy tokens 3, 4, or 5 times. And the goal of that CAM site is to put as few barriers in place as possible for that person to make a payment. So with a fixed payment address, they can assign a user a specific cryptocurrency address. So Mark, you would get a Bitcoin address, and at any time, you can just go ahead and send Bitcoin to that address, and you'll get tokens credited to your account. So we thought it was great when you had a one-click payment. Now this is a zero-click payment, right? You just send the funds, your tokens get credited, you continue in the session. So that's another great product. And we've also seen dramatic growth on the payout side of the business for companies that just send payouts out where they have people who want to receive crypto instead of fiat. very big in the content creator space, where there are content creators all over the world. We enable them to use their dollars or euros to buy crypto and send it out. Now, there are some compliance concerns that we're working on with the Segpay compliance team to see if we can make that happen, but we'd like to get that in place too. So we want to
So,
get Segpay's clients all the way to paid in as many ways as possible.
amen. So, Jeff, just give us some perspective. Today, what percentage of transactions are crypto, and how do you see that growing the next 3, 5, 10 years?
Yeah, that's kind of like the $64,000 question that no one has a specific answer to. So we see adoption rates anywhere from the 3, 4, 5% all the way up to the 40, 50% in terms of percentage of payments for a merchant, depending on the space and industry they're in. But I can say with complete certainty that there's never been a merchant that's integrated with us that hasn't seen an uplift in payments by accepting cryptocurrency. So I think it's only going to grow from here. Again, as crypto becomes bigger and bigger, there's 600 million crypto holders in the world right now looking for ways to use their crypto and spend it. Every report, every study shows that. So, our goal is just make it more acceptable everywhere so that people can spend more and use it more.
You've been in this business a long time. You know the challenges of dealing with the credit card schemes and so forth. Do you ever see a day that credit cards will go away and peer-to-peer transactions or crypto will replace credit card transactions completely in the high-risk space?
I don't. I think credit cards still serve a tremendous purpose. I don't see them ever going away. Debt is a reality in today's world, and not everyone has funds readily available to spend to make purchases. So credit cards are a great way to defer that, even if it's just till next month. I mean, I use my credit card for every single thing I can for my points. So I don't think credit cards are going away. I think crypto is just a great addition to your toolkit that'll always sit side by side with credit cards as a great payment alternative.
There's also, fear that crypto will be shut down by governments around the world. Do you ever see that happening? I have other friends who say, no, Bitcoin is too far down the road. It can't be stopped. What's your view?
I think in the larger industrial countries, the G7 nations, no fear of that ever happening. But in some of the other countries, I mean, China has put some bans in place. I can see places like North Korea, banning it. But in the major economic powerhouses around the world, no, it can never be eliminated.
Interesting. So, Jeff, I'm sure you're aware of the Genius Act. Can you talk to us about that and the current administration's focus on crypto and what that means going forward?
Yeah, I really think that there's some great strides being made in the crypto space by the current administration. I do like the fact that they're trying to put some regulations in place to make sure that cryptocurrency doesn't become the Wild West, specifically around the creation and distribution of stablecoins. So stablecoins are amazing because a stablecoin is pegged here in the States to the US dollar. So if you have one USDT, that's always going to be worth $1. It's pegged, so there's zero risk, zero volatility, but allows you to have a digital currency rather than fiat. So it's a great alternative. So as more and more companies try and come out with stable coins, I think it's great that the administration is putting things in place to make sure that the companies that are doing this are sound. There's backing behind it, so there's liquidity, so doesn't become kind of a Ponzi scheme where all these people have billions of dollars of a stable coin and there's nothing to back it, and then it all vanishes. So I think the administration is doing some great things, introducing it to the Treasury. It's just a big move forward in crypto acceptance and the next phase. I think it's very forward thinking, and I'm very excited about that part of it.
Got it. Excellent conversation, Jeff. Anything else you want merchants around the world to know about crypto, ForumPay, and Segpay?
Yeah, I think the key message I would have for any merchant is don't be afraid of crypto. In many cases, it actually becomes a customer acquisition tool because there are people out there looking to spend. And if you show them that you accept crypto and you market that you accept crypto, those people are going to come to you. You're going to gain customers you didn't have before just because you have crypto. And we have tons and tons of statistics that back that up 100%. Every one of our merchants acquires customers because of the fact that they've added crypto. The biggest concern merchants have is, I don't want to hold crypto, price and volatility. We eliminate all that. It's a fully compliant solution. We're a registered money service business in the US. Like I said, every transaction is run through Chainalysis, so that you know that the crypto you're getting was never associated with anything bad, and you have absolutely no risk. So get out there, start taking crypto, and see your profit margins soar.
All righty. Jeff Rosenzweig, Chief Operating Officer at ForumPay. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Segpay News Network.
Thanks, Mark. Great talking to you. Be well.